All right, welcome Champ Car race car drivers. Welcome to your virtual drivers meeting for your TireRack.com Salen's Champ Yard Dog at the Glen race coming up here at Watkins, Glen. As always, we're going to start off by thanking our sponsors, including obviously Tire Rack, Frozen Rotors, Racing Radios, Lifeline Fire Suppression, RVA Graphics and Wraps, UUC Motorworks, and NLA Parts. Obviously, we'd like to extend a huge thank you to Salen's Hot Dogs and the Salem Sports Car family and the Nana makers for sponsoring this race again. It's good to have them back on board. Really like seeing the Salen's banners there at the Watkins Glen race. There's a lot of tradition and history there. So welcome, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you being with us. The Chandler School, who sponsors our Sportsmanship Award, we'll talk about them at the award ceremony. And our class sponsors, Discovery Parts, MoneyShiftRacing.com, Krispy Kreme, and Hawk Racing brake pads. Thank you to all our sponsors. We appreciate you being with us. All right, I'm going to try and blow through this thing a little bit quickly because there's a lot to cover, and I'm going to try and stay out of the details a little bit. First things first, trying to go through this, I guess, basically by a day thing. Thursday, arrival day Thursday, and load in on Friday. If you're arriving Thursday, you need to go to the staging area outside of gate 4. There's a building there, they call it the ticket office, and there is a staging parking area there across from that ticket office at the gate. Just look for the gate 4 area. There's a place there you can drop your trailers, you can leave your stuff there for the night and be ready to roll in on Friday. Huge thing to remember on Friday. They will not let you in the gate Friday unless you have your waiver wristband. That's the track waiver wristband. Just the wristband that says you've signed the waiver. They will not let you in at the main gate. You will get that waiver wristband at that ticket office over there at gate 4. Why this is important is the traffic and the stack up at the main gate on the main road. We cannot block that main road. It's a thoroughfare, and they will get in trouble with the local authorities there. The police will show up, and it will become a bad situation for everybody. So please do not just hang a turn in there to the main gate and try to roll in, because we're just going to have to turn you around and send you back out. So head over Thursday, drop your trailer. Friday morning, go over to the gate 4 to the ticket office. Our people will be there. You just knock out your waivers. Everybody that's going in will get a wristband. That's just a wristband saying you've signed the waiver, and then you can roll in the gate. Gates open on Friday at 8 o'clock. That's the roll in the main gate. We'll try to have the ticket office opened around 7 so we can start signing the waivers and getting everybody ready to go. But we cannot rush over to the other gate because we cannot stack up and block the road. So do not leave that parking area there until after the main gate opens at 8 o'clock. After that, roll in as per usual. Parking in the paddock is first come, first served. There is power. There are some camping spots. The power is addressed through the track. Find a spot you want to set up, find the power box, look for the security guards. They will be roaming around. They will collect your $50 directly, and they will unlock the power box. That is how you get access to power. If you have a garage, you can head over to your garage and start setting up. Please remember that the garage parking area around Watkins is tight. Most garage areas are pretty tight, especially when it comes to trailers and multiple vehicles. Because of this, you get the trailer parking slot across from your garage space. And that's it. That's the only one you get. You get that slot. Please do not bring in all your extra cars, your civilian vehicles, your pickup trucks, and all your extra vehicles and whatnot. You get the slot for your rig, your hauler, your camper, whatever you want to put in that slot, and that's it. All the other cars are going to clog up the traffic area in there, and we're also going to have the tech line in there too. So please do not bring all your extra vehicles in. It's not a huge, great big hike from the regular paddock area into the garage area. Plenty of spaces out there for you to park and walk over to get to your garage area and in your paddock space or your hauler parking space. General paddock is wide open. Again, there's plenty of power out there. Set up where you want and make yourselves comfortable. Tech and registration, I'm going to read it right off the thing here. Tech and registration are slated to open at 9, but tech and registration have exceeded expectations so far this year, and they are open and ready to go as soon as they can get the equipment set up. So scheduled for 9, but as soon as they can get the equipment up and running, they will open up and start running cars through. A quick note about tech inspection. Team captains, make sure you go into your registration online, log into your account, and submit your electronic tech form. That electronic tech form needs to be submitted for your car, or the tech inspectors have nothing to open up to actually conduct the tech inspection on your car. You will value your car based on the basic points, the VPI, and your total competition value with all your parts and accessories, whatever point items you have on the car. All that stuff is self-explanatory on the form. If you've already submitted one this year, it is in the system and you're good to go. If you've made any changes, you need to go in and update your tech form. But either way, you need to make sure you have your tech form submitted and completed before you roll through the tech line. It clogs things up when you show up and the form's not done. We'll have some extra people walking the line if you need any assistance and whatnot, but you guys need to log into your account and submit it yourself. If we do it, it won't attach to your car permanently. So team captains, make sure you get your electronic tech form submitted properly. Once you go through tech inspection, the registration people will literally be right there in the same garage area. So you can walk from your car directly over to registration, complete the registration process, get all your driver wristbands, your crew wristbands, pick up your swag, other cool stuff is all going to be laid out there. We've found that the registration and the tech process has been going a lot more smoothly when we have the tech people and the registration people literally right in the same building. Saturday and Sunday, we'll shift over to the media building, which is where registration normally is. But again, we've found it much more effective to have everything right in one place. It speeds the process up dramatically. Practice day Friday. There is a practice day, test day. I'm going to emphasize practice and test because it's not a race. Please do not go out there and try to win the Friday race. There are no trophies and no awards for the Friday race. It is a practice and test session. It's an opportunity for you to shake your car out, not break it, but just shake the cobwebs out of the car, shake the cobwebs out of the drivers. If you have new drivers that have never been there before and you want to take them around the track, we're going to run the practice day. It starts at 1. We're going to run it by sessions, about an hour, figure maybe 50 minutes or so with a 10-minute break in between the sessions. It gives the corner workers a little bit of a downtime and whatnot, so we're not abusing those poor people. But the first 2 sessions, 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, we will run or we will allow passengers. Passenger must be in the same complete equipment as the driver. That's a racing seat, full harness, full safety equipment, head and neck restraint, the whole 9 yards. Passenger has got to be in the same equipment as the driver, but we will allow passengers in the car in the first 2 sessions. However, the first 2 sessions will be point by passing only and only in the straightaways. If there's passengers in the car, it's point by passing and only in the straightaways. The second 2 sessions of the day will allow open running, open passing, but we will not allow passengers in the car. So if you've got somebody new to the track and you want to take them around or get them a little instruction time, make sure that you schedule that in for the first 2 sessions when we're allowing passengers. Last thing for Friday on load-in day, we have our new to Champ Car drivers meeting. If this is your first time racing with Champ Car, or if you haven't raced with Champ Car in a long time, certainly if this is your first time racing wheel to wheel anywhere, by the way, if that's the case, welcome. We appreciate you choosing to race with Champ Car. Anyway, the new to Champ Car drivers meeting will start at 5 o'clock in the media building. If you want a little preview of it, there is a link to it in this email or in the email that this video came in. It's also available on our forum under the racing events section. There's a sticky at the top and it's a recorded version of the new to Champ Car meeting. The meeting is a little dated because we filmed it a couple of years ago and it does not mention anything about Flagtronics. And there are some minor changes, so you're definitely going to want to come to the meeting. If this is your first time racing with Champ Car and this is your first time racing wheel to wheel, you must come to the new drivers meeting. It is scheduled to start at 5. I know the practice session is going to run till 5, so it'll be a little bit of a soft start, but please schedule your time accordingly and make sure that you're over there to the meeting. It'll be in the media building. Also, regarding the test day and the practice day, please remember that one of the primary things here for Friday is to get your car through tech and registration so that you're ready to start the race on Saturday and Sunday. Schedule your time appropriately. If you're there early in the morning, go ahead and get your car through tech. If you show up in the middle or later part of the day, carve out that little bit of time and get your car through tech and registration. The tech guys and the registration people don't really appreciate it too much when you show up at 5:01 and there's a whole line of cars out there. So keep an eye on the tech line. When it gets a little short, pull your car in, run it through tech inspection real quick, and then head back out to the track if you're running the practice days. All right, so Saturday and Sunday, 2 separate races run independently. The drivers meeting each day at 8 o'clock. The main drivers meeting will be on Saturday, but there will be a drivers meeting on Sunday at 8 o'clock. Both days, 8 o'clock, 1 hour before the green flag. Saturday will be the main drivers meeting. Sunday will just be to cover anything that happened on Saturday, any little micro changes that we might have to do or allow for any other questions. But drivers meeting each day, 8 o'clock. We'll cover things like fueling, pit lane etiquette, all that kind of stuff. That stuff is covered in detail in the new drivers meeting and in the new to Champ Car video. So if you're looking for some information on that, I'm not going to get into the weeds about fueling and pit stops and all that kind of stuff. But I do want to mention Flagtronics. We've been rolling it out, been almost every race last year, every race this year. It is working tremendously well. There are still a few teething pains with it. We're still doing a little bit of development work, so it is still free to use, but we will have plenty of them, and I want everyone running one here at Watkins Glen. They're technically not required yet, although they will be soon, but I really want to see one in every single car here at Watkins Glen. They are amazingly helpful, and more we're seeing that when teams have problems, if you get called in for passing or any other kind of flagging violation, almost all the time it's a car that does not have Flagtronics in it, and that driver is behind the information curve because he or she is waiting to see a bed sheet on a stick and a standoff somewhere on the side of the track, and every other driver around them is seeing instant communication on the flagging system directly inside their car. So you're going to want to run Flagtronics, especially here at Watkins Glen. Why? Because of the full course cautions. Watkins Glen will not retrieve any vehicles off the track for any reason. Flat toes, recovery, accidents, anything, without us being under full course caution and gathered up behind the pace car. It's just the way they do things at Watkins Glen. It's fine. We're ready to roll with it. It's the way we always handle it. But the important thing here to know is that local yellows are almost always going to turn into full course yellows. If the car is stopped and it can't get moving or there's an accident or something, the local yellow is almost always going to turn into a full course yellow. So you're really going to need to pay attention to the Flagtronics unit to know what the local flag conditions are. So again, Flagtronics, please make sure you use it. Another thing on Flagtronics, it is possible for a couple of seconds, and I want to be really clear about this, for the corner worker to pull out his or her flag and then press the button, and there's a second or so delay between when they pull the flag and they push the button, or the other way around. They push the button and they're just pulling the physical flag out. If you see any discrepancy between the physical flag condition at the stand and the Flagtronics unit in your car, I want you to default to the safest of those conditions. If you see yellow on your Flagtronics and you do not see a flag in the corner worker's hand, assume that you're under yellow and that they're just late pulling their flag out. If you see a yellow flag on a stick being waved and your Flagtronics unit is blank, assume that you are under yellow, assume there's a reason why that corner worker has that flag out. Whichever of the two conditions you see, I want you to default to the safer of the two conditions. If you see yellow, either on a bed sheet on a stick or on the screen in your car, I can see Polly laughing on the bottom screen there. So whichever way you see yellow, I want you to assume that there's a reason for that and you're under the yellow flag conditions. Also, this is not unique to Flagtronics. Been this way even going back to before any sort of electronic flagging system was on board. It is important that you pay attention to the local immediate flag conditions. It is possible to have local yellows in two different parts of the racetrack. More than once this year, I've had people come up and tell me, hey, you know, my Flagtronics unit went back to green, and then 2 corners later, it went right back to yellow again. Well, that's entirely possible. It's entirely possible to have 2 cautions in 2 separate areas. This is no different than looking at typical flags on sticks and seeing one in one corner and then seeing 2 or 3 corners with nothing and then another local yellow somewhere else. That's just the way the way that things happen on the track sometimes. So it's really important that you pay attention to that thing. It's important that you have the Flagtronics unit mounted somewhere where the driver can see it immediately. Last thing on Flagtronics, this has happened a couple times. Again, no different than the stick thing, the flags on sticks, but you are responsible as the driver for managing yourself under the local flag condition that you see. Just because someone gets in your ear on the radio and says green does not mean that you can automatically go back to racing. If you see yellow in front of you right where you're at, you are to govern yourself as if you are under yellow. More and more, we're having people get on the radios and someone's at the start stand and they're calling the conditions at the start or what they anticipate at the start. And the driver is still 4, 5, 6 corners back somewhere on the track. And either the yellow has not gone away yet, the green has not actually come out, or there's something happening right there in their sector. There's a car breaking down or something's happened just as we go back to green. So I know you're hearing your crew chief in your ear and giving you instructions, but you as the driver have got to govern yourself based on what you see right there. So crew chiefs, think twice about calling out flag conditions at the start stand to a driver somewhere back on the other side of the track where you don't know what their local flag conditions are. I know you guys all want to get on the radio and call green to your driver, but when it goes green, the Flagtronics unit will show green in the car. There's no reason for you to be calling them on the radio and giving them different flag conditions. So it's created some problems, and I just want to be clear about that. You're to drive based on what you see the conditions are right there in your car. Saturday morning, we will select a random pit stall during the driver's meeting, and that will be how we roll off pit lane. And I'm going to glance over here at my notes because I said I would keep this thing really short and sweet and not get into the details on fueling stuff. And I think I've covered just about everything. Read through the information in the email that this video was linked in. Anything I discuss here, I will give a little bit more detail on in the email. If you guys have any questions, please take a minute to read through the subs. You're probably expecting me to say email me or call me, but I'm going to start by saying, please read the subs. There is the answer to just about every one of your questions is in the subs. If you still have a question about something, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions, but please take a minute to read through the subs. Remember, new drivers come to the new driver meeting on Friday at 5 p.m. And that is all I have as I pause for a minute and wait for Polly to give me the yes or no as I speak slowly. Oh no, he's got something. And Polly says that I've achieved success and it's okay to end the video. So thank you, everyone. Please travel safely. We look forward to seeing you in the Empire State. Thanks now.
Okay, we're done.